Greetings, Star Brethren, it's Kamo, and welcome back to Starbound. This is the second video in our progression guide for Starbound 1.0, and this one is involving the Erchius Mining Facility mission. Still don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not. To get to the mission, you go back to your ship, talk to Sail, and zoom bibbidi boom, you're flying to some unknown planet, even though your ship can't fly anywhere. Don't ask questions. The facility itself is really straightforward, not a whole lot of places to get lost. As a matter of fact, a lot of places tie back to the beginning, so if you die, you can go through basically just a shortcut. There are all kinds of lootables in here, mostly resources, quite a few pixels, the occasional oddity, but there is a vanity set here. It's a full space astronaut set. It's pretty spiffy looking, and it spawns only in specific locations, so I'm going to show you where those chests are. But before that, a little bit about the monsters that are in this place. They're these weird pink... I don't know, I can't describe these things. They're like humanoid, but they're pink and weird looking, and they spit purple pink goo on... I don't know what's going on here. But they're really straightforward. They run at you, and from time to time, they'll stick their arm out and then spew some bodily fluid on you. It's not exactly pretty. To fight these, I personally decided to use just the Scouter set, which is basic iron armor, and you can make that in the anvil. We did that in the last episode. And then I also came in with an iron broadsword. All you gotta do, really, is avoid the splooge, just jump over them, do an attack from behind. As soon as they turn around and look like they're going to charge, just slash at them, knock them back. As soon as they stick their arm out, just jump over them, and they'll usually miss. So fighting these guys is really just about moving around, because most of the time you can't kill them in 1 or 2 hits. You actually have to hit them a few times, and if you can combo them, all the better. And a lot of times you can get them into a group of 3 or 4 and be perfectly fine, because you'll hit all of them as soon as one of them looks like they're going to shoot. Jump over, rinse and repeat. Not that bad. Now the first chest I'm going to show you is pretty close to the beginning. You'll come to a large room and you'll have to drop down, and you're going to see some crystals, a large cluster of crystals in the ground, and then just to the left you're going to find a little lantern. If you turn that lantern on, you'll actually see the chest down under the ground. Just walk a little bit to the left, drop down, and boom, you got a chest. Now I'm not 100% sure if the parts are randomized as far as like whether you'll find the head in this chest this time or find the legs in this chest next time. I don't know, but if you find all 4 chests, it won't matter. Now the next one is actually inside a building that you will have approached from the left after going up a small ramp and jumping up a ladder just before that. Inside this particular building, there's going to be some humans fighting a few of the monsters. After you've killed the monsters and looted the place, you're going to notice that there's a droppable place, a droppable spot in the middle of the building. Drop all the way to the bottom, and there's another one of the chests. Now the next one is close to a building, but not inside the building. This building you will have approached it from the right, and again, inside there will be a fight ensuing. You kill them, loot the place, go out of the building just to the left and up the, I guess you would call it the roof of this place, and you'll notice that there's an opening in the ceiling, kind of like a duct, like a air duct. Jump in there, follow it to the right, drop down, there's another chest. Now the last chest is just to the right of the building where you fought your first monster that had the big old 2-handed hammer, and he kind of forced you to the left, and then there was the bunk room up above. Just after that building to the right, if you stay high, don't drop down at all, stay high, to the right you'll find the last chest, and that'll be the 4 chests that you're looking for. Now you'll also notice throughout this mission that there are a few tighter, smaller areas that look like they definitely go somewhere. Well, that's because they do. If you have the distortion orb, you can actually drop down into those, the distortion orb tech, and that's the tech and everything I'm going to be talking about in a separate video, how to get them and all that kind of stuff. But you're going to drop down and head to the right, and boom, you're going to find the Erchius Horror. This is actually a really straightforward fight. Basically, there's 3 phases, and each phase, the action you have to take on your part is the same, but the monster will do different actions. It's actually the same action, but in different patterns. So the goal is to activate these 4 switches. There's one in each corner, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. Once you've activated all 4 switches, there's a gun down in the center. I'm dying. down in the center below the horror itself. Once you've activated the switches, you activate the gun that shoots the horror, and you notice he loses a huge chunk of his health. You basically repeat this 3 times. What the horror does each time is different. In the first phase, the first time you shoot him, before the first time you shoot him, he has only 2 beams, and they rotate, I believe, 180 degrees, kind of stop, go back a little bit, and then they turn off. So if you feel like you're caught on one side, this is your chance to get to the other side. After you fire the gun at him first, he fires 4 beams. This time they rotate a certain amount, and then they rotate back, and you repeat the same pattern. You try and get to the switches, the beams turn off for a short while, that's your chance to get to the other side of the room, activate the switches, activate the gun, and he goes into his 3rd phase. And in the 3rd phase, 2 of the beams go in the opposite direction of the other 2 beams. So what they end up doing is creating these really tight enclosed areas, while the other sides are large exposed areas, and he rotates them back and forth, basically forcing you into a corner. Again, all you got to do is activate those switches when your area is open. As soon as he turns the beam off, jump to the other side, activate the gun, and boom, you beat the horror. It's really not that bad of an engagement. Just make sure that you obviously keep your salves with you, or bandages if you've made them, and you should be definitely good to go. After you've done all this, go up the right hand side. There's going to be a little chest there that you can loot. It talks about the horror a little bit, and then there's a drill. Be sure to talk to the drill. Don't leave before you do that, otherwise you got to walk through the whole thing again. After you've activated the drill and you've gotten the objective, go a little bit further to the right and you're going to find a teleporter that takes you to the 2-stop telestop. Once you're back there, go back and talk to Pirate Pete. A little cutscene goes. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. He jacked his peg leg. Apparently his peg leg's a crowbar. And that's it. And then after that, you're going to go back and talk to Esther. And then in the next mission, she has you scanning things. And we will talk about that in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you out. If it did, be sure to subscribe. I'd like to see you around the channel some more. I make all kinds of guides and goodies. Leave a comments and all that. And I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, you guys take care.